They say true art never makes noise. It is born quietly in a corner in an old courtyard in the hands of someone the world has forgotten. The wooden vase you see today, you might look at it and say how beautiful, how unique. It must be very expensive, but very few people know that this vase was once made from a piece of wood everyone called scrap, and the man who made it was once considered useless himself. The beginning of the story. This story begins on a calm early morning. There was a cool breeze in the alley. Birds were singing softly, and in a small courtyard an old craftsman stood quietly studying a piece of wood. He was around 60 years old. His hands were wrinkled, his fingers ached with age, yet in his eyes lived a strange, unbroken faith. People didn't know him by name. They simply called him the old carpenter. The wood everyone rejected a few days earlier, he had gone to the timber market. In one corner lay a strange piece of wood, worm-eaten, cracked, covered in dark stains. The shopkeeper laughed and said, "Don't even look at it, old man. It's not even good enough to burn." People walked past it without a second glance, but he stopped. He touched the wood, turned it slowly, and carefully studied its grain. Then, in a soft voice, he said, "You are not useless. You were just never understood." The price of belief, the price of that wood was not very high, but for him, it was enormous. Life at home was difficult. Medicine costs were rising. Work no longer came as it once did. Still, he bought the wood. When he reached home, his wife was angry. "So much money for this rotten wood? We don't have money for medicines and you bring home scrap?" He said nothing. He simply placed the wood in the courtyard. The work begins the next morning. He woke up before sunrise. There were no machines, no shining modern tools, only an old handsaw, a chisel, and a lifetime of experience. He never forced the wood. He listened to it. He followed its natural direction. Sometimes he paused, looked at the wood, and spoke as if to a living being. "Don't be afraid. I haven't come to break you, I've come to give you an identity. Circles that hold time, the circular patterns you see on the vase are not decorations. They are the story of the tree's life. Each circle represents 1 year, each layer a changing season, each mark a struggle survived. He chose not to hide them, because he believed art should never hide the truth." The laughter of others, the neighbors watched him every day. Some asked mockingly, "What are you making now?" Others laughed. So much effort for just a vase? Some shook their heads, some made jokes, but he stayed silent, because he knew true art answers in its own time. Pain and patience. Days passed. Blisters formed on his hands. Pain settled into his back. His eyes tired quickly. Still, every evening as the vase slowly took shape, he smiled. It was no longer just wood. It had become a mirror of his own life. On the final day, he polished it carefully. Every edge, every curve was perfectly balanced. Then he applied natural oil. The wood began to glow. It felt as if it had started breathing. When the world finally looked, when the vase was complete, he placed it on a black stand. A yellow wall behind it. An open sky in front. When people saw it, the laughter stopped. Now there were questions. Was this really made by hand? How can something be this perfect? Someone whispered, "This belongs in an art gallery." The real victory. The vase sold for a good price. But the real victory was not the money. The real victory was respect, recognition, and inner peace. The final message. This vase teaches us something important. Nothing is truly useless. No person is ever small. All it takes is the right vision to see the art hidden inside. Outro. So tell me, if this vase were in your home, what price would you put on it? Out of 100, how many points would you give it? Let us know in the comments.